Welcome back to Great Smoky Mountains National Park. We're doing a loop out of Poles Gap. You guys can tell I'm walking in the footsteps of a great hiker.
Brucey, I think it was in a place like this that you found a serpent. I was hoping, but it's still too cold up here.
Anyway, it looked like a serpent heaven. Checking out some hellebore and also more hog damage. Seems like everywhere we go in the park, damage from hogs. I'm sure you guys know that in Great Smoky Mountains National Park, lots of old homesteads. Don't know how far back this fence goes, but I'm sure there was a homestead here or nearby. Well, we've got a nighttime debut for the mini heat with the fire plug. And pretty cool. There's the mini heat. And there's the fire plug. Very clever design. No canister stove on this trip. Good morning and welcome to Camp Neutron of the Cataloochee. Cataloochee because we're on the Cataloochee Divide. Neutron because we're both in neutron hammocks. You're thinking, well, wait, you've got danger birds and you've got blackbirds. Why neutron? Well, we're kind of warming up for the Sergeant Rock ultra lightweight slick rock hang. So we're practicing using the lightest hammock we have. Thanks again to old friend Kangaroo for this wonderful vintage Peapod. You'll notice this string coming out of it. That's the footbox mod that hanging out. Put on my Neutron. This is my first time using the Winter Palace with the pole mod. Makes a big tarp even bigger. Who's using the Tiwa? Look at those AHE flamethrower down booties, sweet. And bug net. And I think this is from Papa Smurf. But Poof says it did a good job, held in some heat, helped keep some stuff in the Neutron from falling out. So
start talking.
Yeah.
Chad Jones. We're up here at Maggie Springs. That's what it's called, Maggie Springs.
And we spent the night on your property last night.
This is my property right here. This is Harold Urban's property.
Okay.
Right here, yeah.
Well, we thank you all. We didn't know.
No problem.
Like I say, we thought we was in the park, but then again, we knew we was close to the edge.
Ain't no problem.
You're
Got
like-
good. Where are you hiking to?
We're doing this loop down to Double Gap.
We're gonna call it for you. I've got one little red dog. If you want
Yeah.
to see it, just let it follow you out, and you can drop it off at the park range. Answer, call me. My number's on it.
Okay.
I've had one gone in here for about a week. I train my dogs over
Right.
in this Indian Creek section. Just
Right.
let them run them and stuff, but they always want to come this way because that's where the bears are from.
Now the ones I'm hearing, have they already got a bear tree?
No, they're just trail. I'm gonna go try to hit them off.
Busted while stealth camping on private property. What are the odds? Well, you know, I heard the bear dogs. They kept getting closer and closer. I really didn't think the owner would just happen right to be zipping through the woods. He seemed pretty cool about it all, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got lucky. Poof, where are we?
I knew you were going to ask me that. I know exactly where I'm at.
Talk to me.
I am on the Hemp, well, I'm right off private property, but the Hemp Hill Bald Loop is like right over here. So we just came through Paul's Gap.
Did you know we were on private property?
No,
Well, it was dark when we got here.
I'm on complete ignorance.
Okay. My ULA Ohm has been a good ride for several years, but it looks like it's going to hang on the wall for a while. This is the reason why. This is the XO backpack by Z-Packs. And a big thank you to Samurai Joe for getting it up here in time for this smoky adventure. It's modeled with a couple of mods based on my own, with these full-length side pockets, which give me room for my pole mod on one side, some Tenkara fly rods on the other. Also will accept the giant 1.5 liter water bottle, still with room to spare for some clothing. The big mesh front bag, which I've got my tarp in, another piece of clothing, my grill plate. What really sets this pack off is this guy right here. And this is my REI branded equivalent of a Thermarest seat pad. And the first time I slipped this in, it was instant joy. Now I think Joe mentions that instead of using this, you could use the Gossamer Gear egg crate pad. And I was reaching for that when I thought, let's try this sit pad. It's one of those oh my god experiences. The shoulder straps are from MLD. Eventually I'll upgrade to Joe's. They've got a little mesh pocket on the outside of the shoulder pocket to give you even more storage. The hip belt pockets are fine. They're not quite as good as ULA's, but they're just as big and just as accessible. The padding in the hip belt and the padding in the shoulders is fine for the load you're going to be carrying. And of course, if you know this pack, it is an external frame using this carbon fiber system. This pack has saved me over 22 ounces over my Ohm. I had the Ohm 1, had it modded to the Ohm 2 specs with the circuit hip belt. The only thing that I wish were different is the hip belt straps. You pull away from your body with the ULA, which I like. With this one, you pull toward your body. If you guys know hip belts, you know what I'm talking about. That's the only deficit. So, out of 100, this pack gets a 95. Thanks again to Samurai Joe. That's about 10 hours of rest in that hammock. The Cataloochee Divide is the far eastern border of the national park. Adjacent to the park is obviously the Cataloochee Ranch, and they partner with the Swag, which is a kind of fancy resort area. Brucey, look what I found for you. Hold the pole. Just one. Can you see him, Brucey? I'm gonna get him to move. There he goes. We're currently climbing up Hemphill Bald, just to show you what it looks like on the way up. Very smoky in the Smoky Mountains. And here's what the other side looks like. We're on top of Hemphill Bald. Just want to say hey to all the folks at Hammock Forums. This is Hemphill Bald. We're on the Paul's Gap loop from Paul's Gap to Double Gap to Campsite 41, then to Rough Fork Trail, back to Paul's. Hope you guys are out hiking. Yay! This is Hemphill Bald from the other side. We were cowboy camping last night, no water. So this is the first water, really free-flowing, that we've seen since yesterday. Guys, I wanted to show you all the latest advancement in the Firefly titanium stove. And it's these little built-in windscreen supports. They're on each corner. You can see they'll fold up out of the way when you're packing up. Swing into position when you want to put your windscreen in place, which we're getting ready to do. And windscreen. Chi-Wiz did a really good job upping the ante in the little stove world. I forgot, I wanted to show you guys, this is my homemade companion stove. It's got a screw top lid. It's got silicone in there to keep it from leaking. It's not perfect. The only advantage this one has over the real companion stove is that screw top lid. And this one holds between 4 and 5 ounces of fuel. Wish you guys could smell these chocolate chip pancakes. Butterbuds and agave syrup.
You want to see a camera?
No, I want to hear you.
Just got 3 rainbows for breakfast. Turned one back, caught 4 to 6 brook trout,
Right.
and probably a couple more rainbows that we threw back. But we had 3 rainbows for breakfast.
How about the fish for breakfast? What'd you think?
Oh man. Yeah.
This is for you, Weisenberg. Eat your heart out.
He's the fish.
This is the area of Campsite 41, and we were here almost a year ago doing a loop out of the Cataloochee area. I'm having one of those deja vu moments. I think these are the exact same 2 trees that I hung from the last time I was here. We finally reached the last leg of this circle. If you guys know anything about the Smokies, it's thousands of possible loops, trails. You could come out here for a day, for 2 months. This is where we turn left on Rough Fork Trail, and Poles Gap, where we started, is 3.5 miles from here. Anyway, say good morning to the folks.
Good morning.
It is day 3 of this Smokies adventure, and so far this stealth site has not been discovered. We're getting ready to cook breakfast and head out. If you're going to build a little wood fire, you have to love the eastern woodlands. Gotta love Birch Park. The wood burning to boil water this morning is out of necessity. We are out of alcohol, and we used our only Esbit last night. Maybe you guys are wondering why such a big breakfast. This loop has a total of 3,350 feet of elevation gain, and 2,000 feet of that were yesterday. So we woke up hungry. Oh my gosh, that looks wonderful. So Poof was asking me why I really wanted to master the Firefly. Well, the Firefly fits inside my Avenue .9 pot, and that pot fits inside the bicycle frame bag. Of course, it'd fit in any backpack, but so it was one rate limiting step after another. Just want to say hey to Rick Torfla and Mad777. Already looking forward to seeing you guys next year in Ocala. Guys, I want y'all to see an elk print, and it looks like mama, and right beside it, baby. We'll zoom in a little bit more. So yep, elk are in the park. As we're walking along through this section, beside the elk tracks, you'll find an occasional piece of coal, which is a reminder that at least this leg of this loop was at one time
heavily timbered, and trains were used to haul the timber out of the woods. When the blue line meets the blue line, this circle will be complete and this hike done. But Poof has already schemed another hike for us today since it's so early. One of the beauties of living in East Tennessee, Western Carolina, is the elevation. We can get over 5,000 feet in July and August and extend our hiking season and avoid the heat of the lowlands. Back at Poles Gap, hike complete. Good to see the Poof mobile intact. And we've got about an hour drive to the next hike. See you in a little bit. This hike is an out and back, or in this case, a big up and a big down. In the mountain aisles theory, if we were suddenly at sea level, we would be 150 miles north of Montreal. But because of this elevation is why we can enjoy that same flora and fauna and walking in this beautiful, beautiful spruce garden. If you're thinking about coming to Spruce Mountain, you'll have 715 feet of elevation gain from the road. That puts our total elevation gain about 4,100 feet for the weekend. Considering we didn't start until 6 p.m. Friday, and it's a little past noon on Sunday, that ain't too shabby. The history of Spruce Mountain, as far as the trail we hiked, goes back to a geographer long time ago who at one point in time said this would be a great place for a fire tower. The trail we're actually walking on was the old Jeep road that would allow the Watchmaster access to the tower.
I'm Six String, like the guitar, and this is Luna.
Hi, I'm
and this
Luna.
is Butterbean.
Cool.
But her real name's Luna.
Her
Real name's my trail name.
Right? And this couple through hiked in 97.
97.
Yeah.
At, outside Fontana Dam at the village, met at the village, and gosh, we got married in
I'm gonna
Grayson
go kiss her
Highlands.
down the road.
Wow.
And, yeah.
Butterbean.
As we
We're
were
out
hiking,
near
while we
the
were
NOC, I guess, where the trail crosses NOC with about down that way.
Right.